And I'm back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. Last time didn't went so good for me. I'll try to be more careful since we are playing in hard mode. Not a big fan of save mechanics there, but just maybe if I play it right, it's going to work better. It's night. I just talked to a lady that had some statue. What's that lady? And also, I still wanted to read about events. So we read about that, about Wenceslas being kidnapped all the time. Conquest of Kuttenberg. In December 1402, during Wenceslas's imprisonment in Vienna, Sigismund attacked Kuttenberg and by the beginning of the following year seized and ransacked the town. Kuttenberg was loyal to the king and staunchly defended by its miners. Miners as if people who mine or minorities. Or no, children. When they finally surrendered, they were forced marched to Sigismund's encampment near Kolin. And made to kneel before him in the mud in subjugation. In addition, they had to pay huge sums of money in reparation, even though the town and its environs had been pillaged by Hungarian soldiers. The treasury in Kettenberg held not only coins but also precious jewels, gold and silver. Wenceslas later estimated the wealth seized by Sigismund to be worth 1 million in gold ducats of the day. Also, I probably want to look at the map. What's going on here? Political map of 1400. Oh, these maps suck. Fuck. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, whatever. Maybe there's going to be a map here, I hope. Now I don't even have a knowledge of a peasant. Political knowledge of a peasant. I'm blanking so much right now in this world. The golden age of Charles IV, when the young son of John of Luxembourg, Charles, inherited the title of Moravian Margrave and subsequently the Czech throne, he embarked on not only economic but also cultural development of his kingdom, a period dubbed the Golden Era. In 1348, Charles founded one of the oldest universities in Europe. Many cities, towns, and castles acquired new fortifications and new bridges. Infrastructure and churches were built. To strengthen his position in Europe, he made good use of political marriages, thus allying his family with the prominent families in neighboring countries. He even had influence over the appointment of ecclesiastical churchly, spiritual synonyms relating to the Christian church or its clergy.
Ecclesiastical.
Ecclesiastical. Okay. He even had influence over the appointment of ecclesiastical dignitaries. Thanks to firm rule and a policy based on the alliances, he was able to keep the peace in Europe. Charles was an educated monarch, interested in the arts, which was reflected in the architecture of cities, especially Prague, where under his rule many new houses, churches, including St. Vitus's Cathedral and the city walls sprang up. Western Schism. Ooh boy. The Papal Schism or Western Schism was a rift in the Catholic Church in the Middle Ages, during which there were two papacies existing simultaneously, one in Rome and the other in Avignon, France. It began in 1378, the year after Pope Gregory the 11th brought the papal court back to Rome from Avignon, where it had resided for almost 70 years due to hostilities between the Roman papacy and the Kingdom of France. When Gregory died, the Neapolitan Bartolomeo Prignano was elected pope with the name Urban the Sixth. He, however, quarreled with the very colleague of cardinals that had elected him. They therefore declared his election void and elected a new second pontiff, Pope Clement the Seventh, who re-established the papal court in Avignon and was recognized by Scotland, Castile, Aragon, Navarre, and Portugal. Siding with Pope Urban VI in Rome were Italy, Germany, Bohemia, England and Ireland, Flanders, Poland, and Hungary. So we are with the Pope Urban, more edgy one. The schism continued even after the death of the original rival popes, with the election of Boniface the Ninth in Rome and Benedict the 13th in Avignon. The popes in Avignon were called antipopes. Ooh. At this time, European efforts to restore the unity of the Roman Catholic Church were growing. Unfortunately, neither the council nor the popes themselves were able to reconcile, as neither side was willing to budge from their demands. In 1409, the dispute escalated to the point that the cardinals declared both popes invalid and elected a third, the antipope John 23rd. III? This is a bit too much. How much sequels this John had? This anti-Pope John. I guess a lot of people were called Johns, that's why. None of the popes submitted to being dethroned, however, the conflict embroiled the rules. Actually, what I want to know, kingdom come year. Fuck, no. In game. It's set in 1403, so we have a bunch of spoilers in these descriptions. But, that's kind of strange way to tell your story, you know? You're not supposed to know this. Like, it would make more sense to unlock them as the game progresses, but I think it's not going to progress through ages, right? It's just going to progress through this year, this 1403. Okay. None of the popes submitted to being dethroned, however. The conflict embroiled the rulers of the various countries involved, among them others Sigismund of Luxembourg, who took the side of John XXIII. The Council of Constance was convened on November 5th, 1414, to resolve the issue. The council secured the resignations of anti-Pope John XXIV and the Roman Pope Gregory XII, and in 1417 elected a new Pope, Martin V, based in Rome. This essentially brought an end to the schism, although there were subsequently two more anti-popes who continued to be supported by minority, Benedict XIV and Clement VIII, who resigned in 1429, leaving Martin V once again the sole pontiff. Alright. Oh, characters. That's probably I want to know too. Albert IV of Habsburg. Albert IV of Habsburg was an Austrian count, son of Albert III, with whom he fought against King Wenceslas beginning in 1394. He also has disputes with Prokop of Luxembourg over the Czech-Austrian border. A lot about Charles. Charles IV of Luxembourg, born Wenceslas, son of King John of Luxembourg, was the second member of the Luxembourg dynasty to become king of Bohemia, and first to attain the title Holy Roman Emperor. He held many other titles besides Margrave of Moravia, Count of Luxembourg, King of Italy, King of the Romans, and King of Burgundy. Renowned for his diplomatic skills and erudition, he actively endeavored to consolidate his position to ensure the survival of his line in Europe, especially in Bohemia, Moravia, and Germany. He was well versed in several languages, and at the French court he was tutored by none other than the future Pope Clement VI. During his reign, Prague and the lands of the Bohemian crown underwent a major transformation, becoming a powerful political, economic, and cultural center. For this reason, this period of his reign is known as the Golden Age. But before it was Golden Era. He initiated the construction of many suburb edifices which thus bear his name, including Charles University, Charles Bridge, and Carlston Castle. Carlston? He was keen to emphasize the role of religious faith in society. He renewed the codes of Saint Wenceslas, Saint Sigismund, and Saint Vitus, concentrating various church buildings to them, consecrating, among others, Prague Cathedral. He married 4 times and had 13 children, most of whom died in infancy. Oops. The most illustrious of his offspring were his sons Wenceslas and Sigismund, who both became rulers over the lands of the Bohemian crown. Cumans. The Cumans first arrived in Czech lands in 1260. Under the leadership of Hungarian Crown Prince Stefan, they fought against Bishop Bruno and the army of the Austrian lords, which they thoroughly vanquished. The Cumans appeared for the second time in the 1270s when they defeated the army of King Przemysl Otakar and went on to pillage Moravia. They last invaded the Czech lands under Sigismund of Luxembourg, who could afford no better mercenaries than Cumans. Estimates speak of several thousand fighters. One of the places that succumbed to their ravages was Silver Skalitz. That's the place we're from, right? Why is it silver? The birthplace of our games hero, yeah. Pope... yeah, whatever. Pope Benedict, Pope Bonifazi. So now Benedict the 13th born Pedro de Luna was elected anti-pope in 1394. So we still have schisms in this time. 2 churches. Anti-church is in France and the true church is in Rome. This Benedict is now in power. He had previously withdrawn with his allegiance to the Italian Pope Urban VI, who represented the Catholic Church in Rome. Pope Bonifazi the 9th, born Pietro Tomicelli, was pontiff from 1389. Contemporaneously with the Avignon antipopes Clement VII and Benedict XIII refused to abdicate, leading not only to continuation of the Western Schism, but also to the ever-deepening rift in the Church. However, it also meant that Bonifazi had a growing influence on some important aspects of secular power. Sigismund was king of Hungary and Croatia, Croatia from 1387, king of Germany from 1411, king of Bohemia, so we already know he won't die until what, 37? Yeah. Spoilers. King of Italy, Holy Roman Emperor between. Oh, becomes an emperor later. At an early age, he was sent to be educated at the Hungarian court, quickly mastering the tough conditions of politics. Like other members of his family, he was abducted at least once. In his case by the Hungarian nobility. Having lost faith in the Hungarian nobility, he turned his attention to Bohemia and became engaged in hostilities with his brother Wenceslas. Some of the Bohemian nobility welcomed Sigismund, hoping he would rid them of their ineffective monarch, while others sided with Wenceslas, resulting in long-lasting wars, in the course of which Sigismund and his Hungarian army, consisting in no small part of Cuman mercenaries, repeatedly pillaged Bohemia, often with the help of Bohemian and especially Moravian lords themselves. Sigismund fought not only to seize his brother's throne, but also against the Hussites, with the aim of seizing the imperial crown. He regarded himself as the defender of Christianity, and in 1409 even founded the Order of the Dragon to wage war against all enemies of the Christian faith. One of the later members of the order was the infamous Vlad the Impaler, inspiration for the fictional Dracula. Oh yeah, I remember. After the death of Wenceslas, Sigismund brought to Bohemia 4 unsuccessful crusades against the Hussites. He died soon after the signing of the compacts, a set of agreements with the reformers guaranteeing freedom of religious belief to every inhabitant of the lands of Bohemia and Moravia. Lords of Talmberg. The coat of arms in the Lords of Talmberg consists of 2 water lily leaves, argent, silver, and on a field gules red. The dynasty dates back to 1291, when Talmberg Castle was under administration of William, yeah, okay, son of the then Prague Burgrave Rosnata of Uzitz. His descendants later owned estates in South and East Bohemia, including Slatinany, Militsin, and the area around Saslav. Some of the Talmberg lords achieved such influential posts in administration as Burgrave or magistrate. Water lily, silver water lilies, they're heraldic. Okay. Sir Divish of Talmberg. That's where in Talmberg, right? This is the guy that greeted us. Owned Talberg Castle in the years 1390 to 1415, so he won't die. In 1391, the castle was conquered by Divises. The castle was conquered and Divises was taken captive. Divish of Talberg. Okay, this S with the arrow above is actually sh. Taken captive and by his neighbor Havel Medic of Valdek. We talked about Havel, though we no longer know how the dispute arose between them due to the king's inability to settle the matter. Divish was imprisoned in his own castle for 7 long years, while his young wife Stephanie attempted to raise. That woman was Stephanie? That was his wife? Maybe. To raise the ransom to free him, thanks to the help of friends, including Radzig, Kabila. He was infinitely liberated, and Medek was condemned for his actions as a rebel. From 1400 onwards, Divish held the office in Prague. When was that? Oh, it was before this time. So 7 years he was in captivity, and released around 1398. So that's already happened. Divish held the office of Prague Burgrev and in 1401 moved his seat to Prague. Meanwhile, Talmberg Castle was repaired and he gave it to his wife. Divish returned here in... What? Okay, this makes no sense now. He's supposed to be in Prague? Okay, this is confusing. Where am I? This is the guy we met, right? He looks odd like him. I think he was called Divish. Divish returned here in 1414, and in 1419 his son Aldrich, maybe not Aldrich, maybe something else, governed the estate. According to some sources, Divish died in 1415, while others attest that in 1418 Jan Janowski sold him Jankov Castle, where the Talmberg family lived until 1702. Divish had 3 sons, Aldrich, William, and Mikuláš, who governed Jankov from 1433 onwards. William of Talmberg and Militin. This is a funny depiction. In 1297, the head of the provincial court, the direct founder of the Talmberg branch, and the direct bearer of the Hrocnata coat of arms. The Hrocnata family was one of the few that did not directly engage in war against the king, so did not forfeit property. He founded Talmberg Castle and had 2 sons, Divish and Nezamisl. So that's his father, who looks a lot younger and slim. Wenceslas. Ooh, a lot. Of Luxembourg was the son of the highly successful monarch Charles IV. He inherited the Bohemian throne and attained the German crown by election. However, he did not inherit his father's predisposition for ruling. Already during his lifetime, he was known for being a weak, idle, and moody ruler who was afflicted with many ailments and as well as difficulties meeting his royal obligations, despite the fact that he had been groomed for rule since early childhood. He was crowned Bohemian king at the age of only 2 years. He was more interested in hunting, alcohol, courtesans, and pleasures of the court. During his time as king, the lands of Bohemian crown underwent several wars and conflicts involving his relatives, his own brother Sigismund and his cousins, the Moravian Margraves. The event that triggered the Margravinate Wars was that Wenceslas occupied the vacated estates of the Olomouc Archdiocese, which by law belonged to nobles. Under the leadership of Jobst, the Moravian lords joined with Sigismund with open revolt against the king, which had less to do with the Olomouc estates than with the legitimacy of the rule of Wenceslas, who in the meantime had been stripped of the imperial crown by the imperial electors for his incompetence and unwillingness to rule. Later, he also lost the power of the Bohemian crown. When he made numerous concessions and awarded the nobles many privileges, de facto transferring the ruling power to them. His what? Okay. His unwillingness to meet obligations resulted in his abduction twice, thereby removing him from the throne. First in 1394 by the Czech nobles, and then in 1402 by his brother Sigismund. Wenceslas initially supported the reform proposals of Jan Hus and his adherents, but he did nothing to save the reformers' life when he was sentenced to be burned at the stake by the church. He thus set in motion what was later to become the largest and only more or less successful popular revolt in Europe, the Hussite Wars. However, he did not live to see these events, since he died in 1419. After his death, his brother Sigismund of Hungary seized the crown, but he had to fight for it, since not everyone acknowledged his claim, and once he had the crown, he did not live to enjoy it for long. Whew, okay, we got ourselves on current events, at least. I like that. It took a lot of time, but I think it's worth it. I don't really need to save right now, right? Should I just go to bed? There might be an opportunity for some mischief, but I have had nightmares, so I can't really... They might have problems. Yeah, let's sleep. And what's our objective right now? Wait, what? Go to the battlements via gateway stairs, take the torch from the table. My hometown was attacked by... so they sent me to Talmberg, yeah, we're in Talmberg, to warn the people there in castle there in case they faced a similar fate. Why am I not sleeping? Nice, a free shower. Perfect. Will I get clean? Where are the battlements?
Spy that Sigismund's hired himself a mob of foreign mercenaries. They don't know this country like we do.
I want to up the sound of voice.
Sanctificetur nomen tuum, veniat regnum tuum.
Maybe. Only all they have to do is lean on some scarlet serf and he'll happily tell them everything.
I didn't think of that.
Not that I'm spoiling for a fight, but if I have to choose a place for one, then right here behind solid walls is it.
True enough.
Good health to you.
Do you know what's happening?
No. What about you?
Me? How could I?
I saw you with Sir Robard. Didn't he tell you anything?
No, nothing.
Okay, good talk.
Farewell.
Good day to you. What do you need?
You know what's happening?
Sigismund. Who else? That bastard conquered Skalitz and now he's come to take Talmberg.
Yeah, I guess that's what's happening. Has Cumans and his mercenaries, as we know.
Aye, you might be right. But good day to you.
Too bad it's not joining like a two people conversation. Instead, I'm talking to them one by one.
What's happening? Have you heard anything?
No. It could be Sigismund's army, or his scouts, or maybe Scarlet's folk who survived the pillaging. I wouldn't expect nothing good. May the Lord watch over you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Do you know what's happening?
Don't ask me, I don't know shit. Just a minute ago, I was sleeping after a day's watch at the gate. God be with you.
What's up?
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he's lost the element of surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Divish sent to Scarlets to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And Sir Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What's
What
happening?
else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a
But
lot
what
of
they
soldiers,
saw? What's the
including all
problem?
manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Take care now.
Have they seen something there? Oh.
Halt! Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Robber?
Sir Radzig. What a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir. He is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzig, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left us storming the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Rattay. It's only a short way, and
For a
there
moment
we'll
I
have
thought
better
it would be
chance
a
of
trick.
defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
Why everybody caring
I'm
about
here,
this farm
Have
boy?
courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that
Yeah,
lad
he's
doesn't
right.
budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank
Yes,
you.
we can
We'll
know
meet again
the
when
jokes now
circumstances
they
are more
doing
favorable.
because I read
Farewell.
Farewell, friend,
Old Havel.
and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people too.
Because this guy was locked
a
up in the
dark
castle,
time.
in his own castle for 7 years.
Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out!
I like the cutscenes, they're pretty nice. The
Men,
conversations
tonight we'll have
between
triple patrol.
lords,
Sort out the watches between you as always.
nobility,
And if I
whatever.
catch anyone boozing, playing dice, or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body.
No!
I want you to keep a close eye on
What am I going
everything
to
nearby.
do?
Sigismund will surely have sent spies, and
Without
likely men
gambling.
as well, to follow the Skalitz people now he knows they've fled. Keep your eyes peeled, and report everything to me at once. Understood?
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch at the battlements with my men?
Is that a
Really?
request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yes to.
Of course I'll help. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done for me.
Splendid. And don't worry, I'll tell the men to relieve you later. God be with you.
Really, I should work as a watchman now? I can't see shit from the battlements. Okay, let's go gambling with soldiers. Maybe we can swipe some coin out of their pockets. Where do I go though? Why is there a pretzel on my compass?
God be with you.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk fleeing?
What do you think about how the Skalitz folk managed to flee the siege?
Thank the Lord. I thought it was Sigismund descending on us.
It seems everyone thought that.
Well, we were all expecting the worst. And the truth is, I'm still worried what will happen when Sigismund comes here. And come he will, of that I'm sure. I just hope we'll be as fortunate when we're face to face with that fucker. By the way, Henry, my condolences.
Thank you.
Wandering around like a stray sheep. Must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
Farewell.
Ah, but I don't want to skip time. Can I find a place to read? Do time goes by if I am in the book? I hope so, because I hate when games just pause whenever you do things like that. Fuck, let's save. Fuck the schnapps. I don't want to replay all that again. Ooh, good opportunity. Nobody here, right? Let's check first. I want to make sure, because last time I tried to do it, I fucking got caught. Hard, very hard. What's in here? Like, heard me lockpicking. Very, very sensitive ears those guys have. I don't want to carry anything too heavy on me. Needle. Oh, it's worth so much. But also weights. Long distance arrow. I need to find a place where I can stash all that. A bow? Fuck. I'm already overweight. Fuck.
God be with you.
What do you think about that surprise during the night?
I was surprised, all right. I'm glad them people were saved, though. And just as glad it weren't Sigismund. For sure he'll come here in the end, too. But now at least we've got time to get ready for him.
Maybe he'll leave Talmberg be.
Maybe, maybe not. Could be he was only out to get Sir Radze, because he's Wenceslas's hetman. And Scarlet's is a rich town, so there was plenty of loot for the taking. 2 birds with 1 stone. So he might be satisfied and leave us alone.
Reckon we'll see soon enough, one way or the other.
Okay, this makes sense.
By the way, Henry. It is Henry, ain't it? I was sorry to hear about your parents. They've gone on to better things.
Essentially, he said basically the same thing as the other guy. He was scared, then it wasn't Sigismund, and then he hopes he won't come here again, and then I'm sorry about your parents. Do I really need to wait?
God be with you.
What do you think about how the Skalitz folk managed to get away?
Fortune smiled on him, that's for certain. Sigismund must be seething with rage.
It's just a shame Fortune didn't smile on all of them.
Oh, shit. Sorry. And you know Sir Radze Cobbler?
I wouldn't say I know him. I've seen him a few times. Why do you ask?
He must be a fine lord to take such good care of every one of his serfs.
Surely all the lords do that.
Ah, I could tell you some stories.
About Sir Divish?
Jesus, no. I didn't mean it like that. Just that I heard stories from other soldiers that would make your skin crawl.
I see.
Well, tell me, I have
May the Lord watch over
a time to spare, to burn, because I'm stuck here on the watch. This is a private area, that's what I don't like. Maybe I will I have to wait. Let's see. Time seems like it's moving. Is it real time? No. No, it's 4:02. There's no reading buff from the bench. What the? Needle. A well-balanced short sword, remarkable primarily for its well-forged point. You don't have to You don't have the reading skill needed to read this book. Hercules and his diet. Nemean lion on. Something wine, probably. And other fine. Delicatesse. Well, there's nothing else to do, I guess, but to wait. Come on. I pressed T and now the game just... okay. No, I'm losing energy when I'm waiting. For how long? To 6 hours?
Let's go! Move it! Quick! Go! Go!
What?
Let's go! Let's go! Move it! Quick! Go! Go!
What's happening?
Let's go! Let's go! Move it! Quick!
Everyone
Go,
to the daily
go!
battlement. Quickly, we have visitors.
Let's go! Let's
Look
go!
out.
Move it! Quick! Go! Go!
Guess it's Sigismund. Game having a time to load that. Come on.
Jesus! We're gonna hit them like skeletons.
For fuck's sake!
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause.
And I
Maybe
can't
a little
load
surprised.
because fucking
I don't
hardcore
think he will
mode.
set his heathen dogs on us today.
Amazing.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Scarlet and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king. And here in Talmberg, divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, the Ratsig Kobila, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzik of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzik is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that the Ratsik Kobila is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzik Kobila is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
My lord, you licked that ass so well. Well, he handled it good. Revenge. I'm sure there's going to be a point in the story when we meet again. I hope it's not. It's not that predictable.
Damn.
God be with you.
Why did Sigismund burn down Skalitz and then come here too?
That's war for you, lad. Certain lords have resolved to take things into their own hands and eliminate anyone who doesn't share their views.
I like how
Unfortunately,
the Lord standing beside his servant.
More, he was sitting on a
is
pile
like,
of silver that could help King Wenceslas's allies.
What happened in Kuttenberg?
Captain.
Gutenberg. Well, I'm just a simple soldier, but the good Lord gave me ears, and I've heard some things from Sir Divish and from those who fled from Sigismund's pillaging.
Were there many?
Indeed, but it was the Kuttenberg mercenaries who came to see me, because I knew them from before.
I see.
Listen, lad, these are all games of the high aristocracy. In Prague, a cabal of nobles rebelled against King Wenceslas, wealthy aristocrats who took against our king for reasons of their own. There's no doubt Sigismund had his fingers in the whole affair, him and Wenceslas's cousin Jobst. And that cabal helped him abduct the king.
So then why did Sigismund attack Kuttenberg?
Why do you think?
Strategic positions? No, not really. There barely been any fortifications. He wanted to get on the Lord, or at the same time to pillage, right? But what do I choose? He was afraid of the Kuttenberg insurgent lords.
Because the lords there could have risen against him with their armies and stopped his conquest of the Bohemian territories?
That's part of it. King Charles, may God grant him eternal glory, built Prague into a proper royal city, while King Wenceslas took a liking to Kuttenberg. After Prague, it's the most important city in Bohemia, in the entire Holy Roman Empire. He who commands the Kuttenberg silver is king.
So Kuttenberg sided with Wenceslas because he favoured it?
Now you're starting to understand. When Sigismund imprisoned Wenceslas and took control of Prague, the people of Kuttenberg began to raise an army against him. So with the attack on Kuttenberg, Sigismund killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He defeated Wenceslas's most powerful allies before they could stand against him, and also gained immense wealth.
Where did these Cumans come from anyway?
I don't know much about them, only what the Chamberlain said. That they came to Hungary from the east and settled there. They're godless barbarians and merciless fighters. The nobles used to say the Hungarian king shouldn't enlist them, because they dishonor our rules of warfare. But when there's power and money to be had, it seems that honor isn't worth my spit. And believe me, it's always about power.
And believe me, my spit worth a lot.
So Robard, I need to get to Skalitz.
What would you do there, lad? Sigismund might have left, but the place will be swamped with robber barons, brigands, deserters, and other vermin. And anyway, your lord commanded you to stay here.
Yeah, the guy who stands right beside me.
My parents died there, and I won't leave them to be ravaged by dogs. I have to bury them.
Good God, boy. Do you want to throw your life away for those who can never get theirs back? Do you think that's what they'd want? Forget it. God be with you. God be with you.
Is there someone here who trades in goods?
Hungry, are
Stolen
you?
stuff.
You should go and see the cook. She's good-hearted, especially if you come with some coin. For anything else, you should see a fellow called Votava. Folk aren't too fond of him, because he's as surly as a wet cat. But he can get you just about anything. I saw him by the granary. You'll recognize him easy. He looks like he's never had a decent meal in his life.
Sounds like a shady guy.
That business with Sigismund turned out well in the end, didn't it?
Aye, that was a good start. Next we need to drive him and his war whores out of Bohemia for good.
He talks as if we just won them in battle. They just licked their asses so they would go away. Okay, let's make a break in the recording and